Hey, Queen. Do you want to know how men string you along? Do you want to know the signs to look out for? If you want to know, then keep on watching. So, I want to start with a little story because this is how this came about. So, changing the story, of course, to not reveal the identities. So, this one girl that I knew, she she's 40. She just turned 40. She's my age. Contrasting to me, she's chronically single. She is chronically single for her entire life. She's been for the most on hookup situationships where, she'll see someone for a couple months where they have sex and then they dump her. So, what happened? She met someone recently. She met a guy that he's a guy that he's a good catch. He's he's pretty conscious for the most, you know, somewhat. He doesn't like to have casual relationships. He wants something serious. But what he doesn't know is that something serious is the exact fucking thing as something casual. If there's not a formal title to it, and a title that actually exists, because the title my guy, my girlfriend, that kind of stuff is for high school. That's not a real title. There's nothing serious about it. How can you be in a long-term, like in a serious relationship when there's nothing serious about that? Something serious is an engagement where there's an actual ring and a wedding date, or a husband. That's a serious relationship. Because it could be serious to you, but it turns out that it's more like wishful thinking, right? In any case, she's 40 and he's younger on top of that. Okay, he's a few years younger, maybe like 3, 4, 5 years younger, something like that. And of course, he's not in a place to have children or to be married. So he knows that she being 40, the topic of baby, her eggs rotting or getting old, her eggs, her fertility, that topic is there. It's a pressing issue on her. He knows it. He knows it. Yet he is with her. He asks her for exclusivity. And for those of you who follow the channel, what does that mean? Asking for exclusivity when you're not engaged. So the bottom line is, he is stringing her along. He's not doing it on purpose, per se, but actually he is, because he knows that her clock is ticking. He knows that she needs to get married right away and have a child like ASAP, like yesterday. He knows. Yet he is perfectly fine going along. But what is the real problem here? What is she, like some kind of idiot? What is she, like some kind of dummy with no free will? Women are not dummies without free will. We're not like that. Women are not like that. And I want you to stop acting like you're like that. Like you have no free will, like you have no legs, like you have no arms, like you have no brain, and no decision of your own. Yeah. When did she say, you know what? I am looking for marriage. and to have children because, like I'm 40 already. So if this is not what you want, thank you, but no thank you. Own her fucking wish and desire and be genuine and authentic. But instead, she's not saying anything. She's going along hoping that maybe he will tell her to have a child within the next couple months or year or years. Who knows what she's thinking? And yes, the topic of children is very much pressing on her. Very much. It's like the last hurrah, or whatever they call it. So, when did she draw a line in the sand? When did she put a boundary there? When did she say, you know what, this is not going to work out? So, is he stringing her along? Or whose problem is it? You would never be strong alone, ever. You would never, ever be strong alone if A, you knew what you wanted, B, you owned it, and 3, said, this is what I want. It's this or the highway. Literally, it's my way or the highway. Yeah, my way or the highway. And what that means is, this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the real deal, for marriage, for a family. You have to own it. If you don't own it, girl, there's a lot of intimacy work or inner work or healing, whatever you want to call it, that needs to happen. Because again, nobody can disrespect you without your consent. This is not a phrase that I coined, but Eleanor Roosevelt, or whatever you say her name. And this is true. Nobody can disrespect you without your consent. Nobody can string you along without your consent. Because us women, we're not a freaking rag that you can string along. We're not stupid. We're not helpless. The other way around. We are powerhouses. And it's time for you to step on that power that you have and take radical accountability for your life. Who is stringing you along in your life? Are you currently being strung along? Do you know anyone who has been strung along? Let me know in the comments. Let me know if you went for it. And let me know where the accountability lies. And a lot are going to say, oh, but it's the guy's too, it's the guy's responsibility too. Really? Sure, in like La La Land, in the ideal world, where do you live? We live in a jungle where there's human beings. Human beings are part animal, part spirituality, part spirit, part consciousness. There's still an animal in you. An animal in you with a clock ticking, an animal in you, or maybe the word animal sounds terrifying to some, but plain and simple, you're made of flesh, like any other being in the planet, and you have needs and instincts and things and impulses and a human nature to you. So let me break it to you. You're not only consciousness, you're not only a spirit, you're not only a floating spirit. I need you to understand that you're not a floating spirit. Whenever you understand this, your life will be a lot easier. Whenever you understand that the male DNA, as I like to call it, the human nature of man, their psyche, and your own psyche, your own DNA, how you operate, the day that you're willing to understand human nature, it is when you'll be like, let me do my part. Let me protect my own self. And when I say protect, I don't mean like being guarded, that kind of thing. But let me do my part. Let me take my own accountability because I can't be controlling others. And it's not your job. Like, look after yourself, and there you have it. So nobody can string you along without your consent. If you want something, you either get it or look for someone who has what you need. In other words, not everyone is a match for you. Not everybody wants the same that we want. Look for someone that wants what you want, who is in the same place in life to be successfully married, not only wants to, but is willing to and able to now, here now. Not tomorrow, not in 3 years. This girl, she's 40. She doesn't have 3 years. You get it? She doesn't have even a year sometimes. She has to get on IVF perhaps like yesterday. So this is not about blame. This is about accountability. And I know it's such a boring topic, accountability. But step into your power as a human being, as a woman, and never let anybody string you along. And you will never be strong. I know, simple, but sometimes the simplest things are the most difficult things to grasp. Let me know in the comments if this resonates with you. And sorry if you were expecting some catchy and gimmicky list. Bye now.